It's welcome to our second topic, and today we will going to learn about edges and corner of solid shapes. So look at this picture, and if you look at this figure, it is like cube, this green one, and this rounded figure in green is sphere. The orange one looks like cuboid. This pink color figure we call it this pink color shape we call it as cylinder, and here the yellow one we call it as cone. So we are going to learn about these shapes in the rest of the video. So let's start. So first see what is the edges and what are corners of the solid shapes. So if you look at this object, you can see I labeled these dots as edges. So here is the edge, there is another edge. Similarly for this door, these boundaries are called edges. Okay, so we can see like 1, 2, 3 and 4 edges from front. Okay, so objects with straight edges have corners. What does this line mean? These straight edges forms a corner. So when these edges joins, then we can see this corner is formed. So these straight edges object has corners. So let's see more shapes. If you look at this object, here we can see the curved edge. This is the curved edge. So we now know there are some objects which have straight edges, and those objects will have corners. Now there are some objects which has curved edge. So here is the fountain, these all edges are curved, these are curved edge, and here is the curved edge. This tire also has curved edge, so this one is curved. So looking at these objects, we can say the object with curved edges doesn't have any corner. Okay, so this is the question written here: do the things or object with curved edges have corners? So we'll say no, these object doesn't have corners. The object with curved edges doesn't have corners. Okay, and here you have seen like these straight edges have this corner. So this is the 4 corners of the door here with the straight edge object, and here with curved edge objects we don't see any corners. Now if you look at these solid shapes, we are going to cover these solid shape in today's lecture. So this is a cube, here is cuboid, this is called cuboid, this is a cone shape, and this one is cylinder. This rounded figure we call it as sphere. Okay, so observe these shapes carefully, because we are going to learn these shapes in rest of the video. So let's start with one small story, and here we will see some real objects which represent one or other shape. So we take a very small story. There is a boy Ritesh. He went to cricket coaching institute with his father. He want to learn cricket, so his father took him to coaching institute, and there his cricket coach gave him this cubicle box. So we know this is a cubicle box, and ball was inside that box. He opened that cubicle box and pull out this ball. Now he observed the shape of this ball, and it looks like sphere. So this is the rounded shape and solid, so this is a sphere. And he also observed this cricket bat. See, this cricket bat looks like cuboid, and when he got a closer look to its handle, then he got to know, okay, this looks like cylindrical shape. So in cricket equipments, he could see these following shapes. So we saw cube, we notified this sphere, we saw this as a cuboid, and we saw it as cylinder. So now we are aware of these shapes. And furthermore, his coach shown him cricket wickets. So these cricket wickets are cylindrical shape. So this entire shape is cylindrical, and bottom of the cricket wicket looks like cone. So this bit looks like cone. So his coach told him these conical shape in the bottom allow to insert these wickets in the ground in easier way. Okay, so these wickets can stick to the ground pretty hard, and only when ball hits the stumps then this whale goes off. So that way these wicket shapes he also observed, and finally he was very happy to see the basic equipment used in cricket, and also understood like most of the object in real life represent one shape or the other. And here are some more shapes. You could see this gift packing. So this is a cuboid shape. Here the cap that represent cone. This container represent cylinder. It has two flat faces. One is upper and one side down. This football represent a sphere. This again ice cream cone. You might have heard ice cream cone, we call it as cone. So this is the cone shape. This is cube. So finally he observed all these shapes, and he can relate these shapes with one or the other solid shapes. Now we'll look at the cube. We'll see cube in detail. In previous few pictures we saw cubical box, we saw cubical ice and ice cream, and here we see what exactly cube is. So because cube shape holds some property, and until shape hold that property we cannot call it as cube. So what are all these properties? So cube has 6 faces, 12 edges and 8 corners. So this space is called face. So this area where these are 4 dots are present, 1 2 3 4, this entire space we call it as face. Similarly, this single dot, this entire space of the dice we call it as a one face. Similarly, these 6 dots we call it as another face. So these 3 faces are visible in this cube, and one thing to observe, this one face is shape of square. We have learned 2D shapes, and in a square all the 4 sides should be equal. So this is how these 4 sides are equal, and each face represent this square. So all these edges are of equal length, and it has 8 corners. So when 2 faces meet, then we form this edge. These are the 2 face square face, and this is the another square face, and where they meet together then edge is formed. And what is the corner? This bit here you can see this is the vertex or corner, we can call it as corner. So this is the corner. So where these edges are meeting, then it forms a corner. Okay, so now we are aware of the cube. It has 6 faces, these 6 faces, 12 edges and 8 corners, and each face of a cube is a square, and where the two faces of the square meet, then it forms a edge of the cube. So let's see about cuboid. Cuboid is also same, but only the difference is these sides are little stretched, so opposite edges are equal. So here we have rectangle 1, here we have rectangle 2, and these two rectangle when meet, it is forming one edge. Okay, so instead of each face being square, each face is a rectangle. Okay, and opposite rectangles are of same area. So this space and this side space must be equal, but this side rectangle 2 and this back side of rectangle 2 should be equal. So we can say cuboid is also having 6 faces, 12 edges and 8 corners, same as cube, but only difference is the face is a rectangle. And these are some example of cuboid. Here you can see duster, this stone is also this brick is also cuboid shape. So that's it for this video. If you like my video, please subscribe my channel, and we will bring you more video with more information. And in next video